Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Check check check. Play by play check.
Doesn't sound right.
I'll do this one, will ya? Put these on, because sometimes it sounds different when they're not both engaged. Testing 1 2. Check check check.
Mic check 1 2.
Okay.
Mic check 1 2.
Yep.
Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Brandon Valley boys basketball, and we are in tournament time. Not officially the tournament time in South Dakota. That we know that's in about a week from now, I believe, but we are in the SoDak. They call it the SoDak16. And welcome to this Saturday afternoon at a 3 p.m. game. Hey, Bob, I'm able to call it with you with Bob Arnold, our play-by-play announcer. My name is...
No. We got to get that perfectly clear. I am not the play-by-play guy. I am the color guy.
There we go.
We got to get that clear.
I just had to make sure Bob was awake. So, Bob, our color guy, as always, and I'm Ken McEwen, and I'm going to be bringing you your play-by-play this afternoon. I almost said this evening, as the Spearfish Spartans come into this ball game in the SoDak16, ranked number 14 against your Lynx that are coming into the SoDak16 today, ranked number 3. Bob, welcome.
Thank you. It should be a good ball game this afternoon. You know, you can read all you want to into what everything says on the paper, but there's a reason that you play the games, and everybody has a chance to get to the state tournament at this point in time. All of the AA, all of the boys' AAs are all playing today. So the state tournament field will be completed today, and the brackets will be up for everybody to view. But we got to concentrate from the Lynx perspective. Forget about the fact that it's a 3 versus a 14. You got to come out and you got to execute the way you know you can execute and put this game away, doing the things that have got you here.
It's a one-game season today, and who's going to punch your ticket all across South Dakota in AA. It's happening today. Who's going to punch their ticket into the state tournament? We will know in about an hour and a half, as Bob's going to bring you our Lynx TV sponsors in just a moment, as you are watching us live on channel 226 on Alliance Communications if you're on your cable television, or you're across the world watching us on Lynx TV YouTube. Welcome, and here's our sponsors.
We would like to thank our All-American sponsors, Alliance Communications, Aspen Ridge, Coca-Cola Bottling, Chesterman Company, Midco Communications, Sanford Health, and Sioux Valley Energy. Thank you to all of our MVP sponsors, First Dakota National Bank, Rogers Plumbing and Heating, Sanford Health and Brandon, and Sanford Health and Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. And thank you to the champion sponsors, Alliance Communications, American Family Insurance, Josh Koob Agency, Brandon Ace Hardware, Brandon Lumber Company, Heartland Funeral Home, Horizon Pet Care, Quick Star, Sunshine Food Stores, and today's Family Dentistry.
Thank you to those sponsors that are making this happen this afternoon, as last night your Lynx girls basketball team punched their ticket in a win over Brookings last night, punched their ticket into the state tournament. Congratulations to them, and the boys are looking to do the same thing today, as the girls won 65-49 last evening. The Lynx boys basketball team coming in the last 5 games, they were 3-2. 2 losses were to the number 1 and number 2 ranked teams in the state in AA. Spearfish, as the Spartans come into this game in the last 5 games, they are 2-3. They won their last game versus Brookings 57-54. Your starting lineup is going to go like this for the Spartans. Is going to be number 0, and that's going to be Bennett Cortan. Number 1 is going to be Dylan Doran. Number 2 is going to be Cameron Davis. Number 3, and it goes just like that, Seth Hamilton. And number 11 is going to be Brody Janvrin. For your Lynx, it's going to be a junior, number 5. That's going to be the point guard, number 6. He's 6'1", and he's going to be Landon Delaney. At the other guard's going to be a 6'2" junior also. He is number 10. That's going to be Aiden Zur. The other guard, they go a 3-guard lineup on offense, is going to be number 20. That's going to be Braden Miller. I'm sorry, he's a 5'10 junior. And we're going to have our two really twin towers inside is going to be a 6'6 senior. That's going to be number 32, Hayden Anderson. And the other senior in the middle is going to be number 44. He's a 6'8 senior, Josh Altoff. They are coached by Coach Nelson, and we are about to bring you our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this afternoon's SoDak16 tournament action. This contest is between the Spartans and the Grand Valley Lynx. They are both member schools of the South Dakota High School Activities Association. The association and their corporate partners, Sanford Health, Dakota Bank, Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and South Dakota Army National Guard remind you that sportsmanship and the objectives of this educational athletics are what set this event apart from other levels of competition. Your cooperation and support of the values promoted by the SoDak16 schools is appreciated. At this time, we ask that you stand and remove your caps as we pay honor to America with the playing of our national anthem. Veterans and active duty military not in uniform may salute the flag. This afternoon's anthem is being presented by the Grand Valley Pep Band under the direction of Mr. Tyler Nevison. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
And thank you to the Pep Band for really performing a beautiful national anthem there, as you all witness the beauty of that song, but really being played by the Pep Band, which is really, to me, second to none in all schools in the state of South Dakota, the Brandon Valley Lynx Pep Band. And welcome to the SoDak16, as it's really officially, it's really hard to call it. What do we really call? I mean, I know we call it the SoDak16, Bob, but it's officially tournament time, right? Because you're either one and done today.
It is. It is. This is the first layer of AA.
Yeah.
This is the first layer of postseason. Mm-hmm. Some of the lower classes actually have to play another round or two to get to their version of the SoDak16 to get to the state tournament. So,
well, I always turn it over to Bob so he can paint a little bit better picture for all of you. So that's what he just did for you. The main focal point today is punching your ticket into the state tournament, and it's a one-game season, and it's right now, and then we move on to the next round. So that's where we're here right now. We talked about our actual starting lineups. They're introducing right now the full. If you see on your screen, you don't see it on your screen right now, but they are introducing the full team for the Lynx here. And then what they'll do is introduce the starting lineup, alternating on both ends of your screen. Tonight, unfortunately, I do not believe we're going to have your score on the bottom or the time clock, timeouts, anything like that on the bottom of your screen. So we will do our best to keep you updated throughout this ball game on what the score is and giving you all details. Bob does a fantastic job of doing that.
So we've got Kyle back in our, I'll call it the technical portion of our broadcast, and he is going to kind of flash up periodically score on the pictures of the scoreboard, so you'll kind of get a look and a feel a little bit, but it'll be there for a little bit, and then it'll be back to normal game action. So if you see the score going in and out, the time going in and out, you know that we're trying to work through some technical difficulties to bring you the best broadcast possible, keep you abreast of the score and the abreast of how much time we've got left in each quarter.
Bob paints it out, a picture for you again. There it is. Starting lineups being introduced coming into this from the regular season. Lynx averaging 60 points per ball game, and the Spartans averaging 53 points per ball game. Defensively, your Lynx giving up only 49 points per ball game. The Spartans giving up 56 points per ball game. So that sets the table. We're about to kick it off on SoDak16 Saturday. That sounded pretty good, right, Bob?
It did, almost like you practiced that.
I didn't, I promise. There's not a lot of practice. You feed me a lot of information, and I just go for it. So we're going to bring it to you live on Alliance Channel 226 on your cable television, or if you could be watching it on your TV too with today's technology on Lynx TV, YouTube, wherever you're watching it. We're about to kick this one off. Althoff is set to jump at center court against number 1, and that's going to be Doran. And we're about to set this off as Mr. Logan is finally introducing everything, and we're about to set the table here. It is directly at 3 p.m., and we are off. Althoff wins the tip, and Lynx are going to start with it on offense. Delaney, your point guard, is number 5, as you see on your screen. He's going to look over to Anderson. They may play a high-low game. Anderson to Althoff. Anderson takes it at the baseline, and that one's no good, as Doran's with the rebound. And first shot of the game is 0 for 1 for your Lynx. Cortan, the point guard for the Spartans, and they're going to reset their offense kind of in a weave right now, as you can see at the top of the key. That's number 3, Hamilton. He buries it. First points of the game for either team is going to come from the Spartans, 3-0.
So it looks like Spearfish is going to come out in a zone against the Lynx and see what we can do to adjust to that particular zone and get some good inside looks. Althoff had a nice look, just couldn't get it to drop into the bucket, but it looks like it was off of one of the Spearfish Spartans, and it's Lynx ball.
Althoff at the top of the key, going to play a high-low game, and that's going to be Miller for 3. No good. Zer's there for the rebound. Goes right into Althoff. It goes off of him, and kind of we're seeing a little bit of a fast-paced game. Lynx do not have their footing underneath them right now in offense, but Zer capitalizes on that drive. First points of the game for the Lynx. It's 3-2 Spartans.
Yeah, it was a nice drive by Zer. He kind of turned the corner, saw a nice lane, and went straight to the basket. Nothing fancy, just made that good, nice short bucket.
As there's a shot by number 2, that's going to be Davis. That's no good. It's going to stay. No, it's going to go to the Lynx. Turnover off of that shot out of bounds. Lynx ball. As we talked about on the court for the Lynx to start this one off is going to be your number 5. Number 5 is going to be your point guard, Delaney, along with Miller, Zer, Anderson, and Althoff. Miller. They're going to swing it back over to Zer. Zer's got 2 points in the ball game already. Delaney for 3. No, he doesn't like it. 16-foot jumper's no good off the backboard. There's a rebound, though, by Cortan. He's going to push it up to Janvrin. It looks like a blocking foul on Miller down on this end on the left side of your screen. First foul of the ball game is going to go against the Lynx. And out of bounds play is going to come from Cortan for the Spartans. He gets it in bounce to Doran. He's guarded by Anderson. Hamilton put up a three before. There's a floater. That one's good. It's 5-3, Spartans over the Lynx.
Seth, Hamilton is kind of their leading scorer. He's averaging a little over 15 points a game and 6 rebounds, so they'll have to make sure they put a little extra special defensive attention to him, see if they can hold him down. But right now, he's doing well for them.
Kind of an errant throw there, turnover on the Lynx as Miller tried to find Anderson underneath. Turnover on the Lynx. The Lynx really got to settle down on offense. I know it's the beginning of the game with only 5:40 to go in the first quarter. 5-2 Spartans over the Lynx, and we're going to keep on giving you that score as we go through it. Shot clock's at 18, and there's another foul. I believe that's going to be on Althoff, and I believe that's going to be
might be Zur.
Did they call it on Zur?
Well, I didn't see the yep, it was on Zur.
It's going to be on Zur. He picks up his first foul. Team fouls right now. Lynx with 2, Spartans with none. As there's an inbound play, they're going to go right over to Hamilton. Hamilton guarded by Delaney. Delaney with a great defense. Althoff helps him. They're going to swing it all the way over to back to Hamilton. He picks up a pick. Double team, and there's a charge. That's going to be on number 33 on an illegal pick from Hodges that just came into the ball game for the Spartans.
Yeah, they brought some height into the game. He's a 6'6" sophomore, and looks like to maybe battle Althoff and Anderson underneath.
Yeah, as you're going to see a 2-3 zone coming from the Spartans. The Lynx got to find a way to break that zone and keep on kicking it in and out and swinging the ball around. Into Anderson, that one's good. Beautiful give, or I should say feed, from Althoff on that high-low game. We've talked about the high-low game already 3 times in this one, and it's working so far for the Lynx. It's a 5-4 ball game, Spartans up. Yeah, as there is Duran. Duran is, no, they're not going to call the foul, or
no,
are
I
they?
think they did. I think they're going to call on Mr. Anderson.
Looks like Anderson's going to pick up his first foul, and Duran's going to go to the line for the first free throws of this ball game. Team foul sitting at 3-0, or actually 3-1. They have on the board right now. 3-1. Lynx with 3, the Spartans with 1. Anderson's going to go to the bench. Into the ball game is going to be Carroll, Rylan Carroll, the senior, number 22 for the Lynx. So on the court right now for the Lynx is going to be Zur, Carroll, Delaney, Althoff and Miller as the Lynx go to a smaller lineup, kind of a 4-guard set. Miller, Spartans up by 3, 7-4. Zur connects on his second shot of the ball game. He's got 4 points to lead the Lynx. It's now 7-6.
You know, that was a nice play for Delaney to kind of break into the lane, make him collapse, and Zur came and crashed or drove to the basket. Nice pass.
Duran looks for a pick. He doesn't find it. He goes over to Hodges. Hodges now to Hamilton. Hamilton's got a 3 in the ball game already. Great defense by the Lynx. Force that errant shot from Miller. It's going to be a turnover on the Spartans. Lynx ball. It's a 1-point ball game, 7-6. Spartans in command right now. They've had the lead so far with 4:07 to go, first quarter.
You know, they're figuring out how to break the zone, or what the zone is working, and now it'll be interesting to see if Spearfish goes to a little bit different defense to try to confuse the Lynx.
Althoff at the free throw line goes out to Carroll. Now Miller. Miller's 0 for 1 from 3 so far. Delaney picks up a pick over to Miller. That one's no good. Delaney's there for the follow-up, and it is good. Delaney connects. Lynx take their first lead of the ball game, 8-7, and Delaney's going to go to the free throw line to attempt a 3-point play there, as Miller is going to go to the bench for the Lynx, and actually number 2, Briggs Knutson, the sophomore, is going to come into the ball game for the Lynx. So on the court right now is Knutson along with Carroll at guard with Delaney, Zur, and Althoff. It's now a 2-point lead for the Lynx, as you can see on your scoreboard. Thanks, Kyle, for presenting that to everybody. 9-7, 3:30 to go. Shot is up. That one is good by number 11. That's Janvrin, and the Spartans take the lead by 1. Delaney, Altoff over to Zer. Zer for 3, looking for his 7th point of the ball game. He doesn't connect. Altoff's there. No, that's going to go to the rebound of Davis. No good. Delaney coming from a Zer rebound. Delaney pushes it. Looking underneath, that's going to be Carroll. Now they go right over to Knutson. Altoff's there. Now Delaney. Delaney with 3 points in the ball game. They go to Zer. Zer connects on his 6th point of the ball game. Great feed by Altoff. Altoff has 2 assists in this one already.
What a move by Zer. He kind of let the defensive kind of fly by when they tried to get the block, and he just went up for an easy bucket. That's just knowing where you're at on the court and how to deal with the taller players.
Great defense by Knutson, forces that air ball shot, and that does not find rim into the ball game. Now for the Lynx is going to be Anderson and Miller coming back in along with Knutson. Delaney and Altoff still in the ball game. Miller, they're going to swing it over on that 2-3 defense that's presented to them from the Spartans. Altoff. Miller looking for his first 3 of the ball game. Rims out and no good. Miller 0 for 3 from 3 land right now. Lynx up by 1, 11-10. We're at 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go in this first quarter. There's a reach-in foul by Miller, and I believe Miller's going to pick up his 2nd foul. That's going to get Carroll off the bench right away, and Miller's going to go to the bench as Ryland Carroll, the senior, number 22, comes into the ball game for Miller, as it's 11-10 ball game, and this SoDak16 Saturday afternoon, and that's going to be out of bounds on Anderson. Lynx defense is really tightening up, Bob.
You know, they certainly are. They're playing good on the defensive end. They're making them take some very contested shots, and that's what you like to see. If your offense is not just dropping points right and left, you want your defense to keep you in the ball game.
Shot up by Janvrin, no good. Anderson's there for the rebound. Lynx going to push it. That's Delaney, your point guard. Goes with his left hand, looks into Altoff. He doesn't find him. Errant pass, turnover on the Lynx. Doran's going to push it for the Spartans. Guarded by Carroll, and that one's good as the Spartans take a 1-point lead. Both teams exchanging right now 1-point leads early in this one. 1:30 to go in this ball game. Carroll deep, no good. As there's a rebound, and I believe it's going to be over the back foul on Delaney, and he's going to pick up his first foul. I believe that's going to put the Spartans to the free throw line, as team fouls are going to be sitting at 5 right now for the Lynx. Spartans with 2. No team has called a timeout in this one, as Doran is going to go to the free throw line. The Spartans up by 1. 12-11.
Okay, just so that we don't get any calls from Dylan's mom, I believe it might be Doran.
Well, you know, Bob, it might be.
So I don't want to get any call from Dylan's mom.
Doran. We do have our first time out though of the ball game. You know, Bob with the technical stuff, and that's always good, right? Because if you're watching from Spearfish, South Dakota, which you probably are, welcome to this telecast. If you've never been on our telecast, this is Lynx TV, and you're watching the SoDak16 on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. I believe it's about 67 degrees out. I think, right, Bob?
That was about what it was when I came in. Yep.
Wow, I got that one right.
You did. I'm impressed, Ken. I am impressed. And just so you know, Ken's not looking up at his phone to see what temperature that was.
I don't have time to look at my phone, as this is a fast-paced game. As Spartans up by now 3 points, they're up 14-11 as Doran connects on his second free throw. I got it right, Bob, I think.
You did. I just didn't want Dylan's mom to call us up and say we weren't doing our homework because Bob did not give you the information needed to do this.
Delaney over to Knutson. Knutson in the ball game now. He swings it over to Carroll. That's a 3-guard set, and you have both Anderson and Althoff in the ball game for the Lynx underneath. As Zer's about to come into the ball game for the Lynx, he's going to come in for Althoff. So Anderson and Zer are going to be underneath, and you're going to have a 3-guard lineup. And now it looks like that the Spartans are going to a man-to-man defense coming out of that timeout. 1 minute to go. First quarter, Spartans up by 3. It's going to be a quick foul on number 11, I believe. That's going to be Janverin. And Doran's going to come into the ball game for the Spartans. Third team foul on the Spartans as Anderson puts it up and no good. Doran's going to push it. He's going to be guarded by Anderson. Goes over to Davis. That three's no good. Doran's there for the rebound, and they swing it over to Cortan. Now they're going to reset the offense as Hamilton to Davis. Cortan, there's a weave happening on offense. Great defense from the Lynx. Shot clock's at 20. Play clock's at 38. We have a 3-point ball game. Hamilton. Excuse me, that's Davis. Guarded by Knutson, and that one is good. The Spartans take a 5-point lead, 16-11. Shot clock's off, 20 seconds to go in this first quarter. You see Delaney, your point guard, along with Carroll to his left and Zer to his left. He also has Knutson to his right. Drives. Zer's wide open, looking for his 7th point of the ball game. He doesn't find a great rebound by Carroll. Still 1 second on the shot clock. And that is no good. And that will do it for the first quarter as the Spartans take the first quarter. They're up 16-11 on this SoDak16 Saturday. What team's going to punch their ticket? Hopefully it's the Lynx. Right now the Spartans are in command by 5 points.
Yeah, the offense is a little bit disheveled, I'll say. They had a couple of things that worked. Breaking down the press, the Spearfish made an adjustment, and the Lynx haven't countered that just yet. They're not shooting lights out like we typically would see them, but they're still playing really good defense at this end, and so we just got to figure out what's going to work on the offensive end, crash the boards, and I think we'll be just fine here.
And the one thing we know is I'm not worried about the Lynx offense, right? They keep on playing defense like they're doing right now, Bob. Eventually things are going to flip. You're going to start getting free points. And what I mean by that is fast break points. Turnovers are going to be prevalent. The Lynx defense only giving up 49 points per ball game. They're still on pace for that. They're on pace for even going lower in that. Let's see what happens here coming into the second quarter. So the Spartans, as you can see on your screen, and Kyle does a great job. He will actually flash that scoreboard. You can see the scoreboard was 16-11. Spartans ball coming out of this timeout. As you can see in the top of your screen with a really, really good fan base from your Lynx at the top of your screen on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. As that's going to be Janverin. They're going to swing all the way over to Doran. And now Wells is in the ball game now for the Lynx. It's going to be with Delaney, number 5, and Miller, number 20, 44 Althoff, and 22 Carroll. There's a traveling call by traveling on number 3, Hamilton, turnover, and we just talked about that in our brief timeout there between quarters. Defense is going to play a big point in this one, and it's already happening in the second quarter. Wells into the ball game for the first time. Now they're going to swing it all the way over to Carroll. Carroll from the corner dribbles out and now goes to Miller in the corner. Althoff. Miller for 3. That one's no good. Althoff there for the rebound. That's up, and he's going to be fouled by Janverin, and I believe that's going to be his second foul of the ball game. We'll see what's called here. That is his second foul. That's Janverin. Althoff going to the line to try to connect on their first 2 points of the ball game. First one is up and good. It's 16-12 now. 7:18 to go, first half. On the court for the Lynx, we talked about is 20 Miller. Carroll just on the left hand of your screen, Althoff. Also, number 4 is going to be Wells, and number 5, Delaney into the ball game. That's going to be the point guard. That's going to be Zero Cortan. Dribbles with his left hand. He's going to go all the way over to Hamilton. Now Doran, guarded by Miller. Double teamed. They find Hodges, no turnover. Delaney picks it up. He finds Wells. Now they're going to reset. It's going to be a traveling call as the Lynx kind of, they want to push it, but you got to be in control pushing the ball down the court.
Yeah, that's one of those deals where he just didn't quite have enough body control to get the ball stopped and took that extra step. So you like the steal. You like the execution trying to get out, but now we just got to put all 3 phases of that together.
Hamilton looking over to Hodges. Hodges into the ball game now for the Spartans. They go to Davis. Davis got 3 points in the ball game. Now they go to Hamilton. Now Cortan. Cortan guarded by Miller. Great defense by Miller. There's Carroll with the rebound. Delaney's going to push it. I think Delaney hasn't seen the bench yet except for between quarters as the Lynx go into Althoff. Now Carroll looking for the first 3 of the ball game. He does connect. It's a tie ball game, 16-16. Carroll with 3 points in the ball game.
That was a big momentum shifter right there. Kind of get the crowd back into the game. Been kind of sitting on their hands, and that was a nice shot by Mr. Carroll.
Man-to-man defense from your Lynx. Davis for 3. Delaney's there for the rebound. They're going to push to Miller. Beautiful pass. Miller in control. Althoff, no, doesn't like the 3. Miller does, though. And does he connect? No, it's just off. But it does find the bottom of the net.
Straight up and straight back down. I'll call that a shooter's bounce.
The basketball gods were in our favor, and they were prevalent there. As the Lynx take their biggest lead of the ball game, it's 3 points. Delaney all over the place defensively. Turnover, though, as Doran picks it off from Delaney. Hamilton's going to push it now for the Spartans. Cortan, the point guard, going over to Doran. Now Davis. They go right in underneath to Cortan. Althoff's there for the rebound. Miller's going to push it, goes to Delaney. Delaney finds Carroll. Carroll for 3, no good. And there's Davis for the rebound. He's going to push it. We got a fast-paced game. It's just under 5 minutes to go in this first half. Lynx up 19-16, their biggest lead of the ball game. It's been really exchanging offensively, Bob. 1 point here, 1 point there for the lead. Hodges. Now Hamilton, guarded by Delaney. Now Wells on Doran. Doran. As there's Hamilton for 3, no good. Althoff's there for the rebound. Althoff's been all over the board so far. With it, he has 2 assists in the ball game also. The 6'8 senior for the Lynx. Delaney off the backboard, no good. As Hamilton's going to push it. Still a 3-point lead for the Lynx. Hamilton's going to be fouled on a reach-in foul by number 4, Wells. His first foul of the ball game for the Lynx. Team fouls sitting at 1 apiece in this second quarter. Actually, they're going to call it on Miller. He's got to go to the bench now. He's got 3 fouls on that reach-in foul. Onto the court is going to be Knutson, number 2, with 10 Zur. 32 is Anderson. Carroll's still in the ball game, number 22, along with Althoff, number 44. Beautiful move from the Spartans, no good. Knutson's going to push it. Carroll's already got 1-3, thinks about it. Goes over to Althoff. They swing it over to Zur. Zur doesn't connect from the corner. There's a rebound by Doran. Doran up with a beautiful left hand. It's now a 1-point ball game. Lynx up at 19-18.
You know, I'm glad he didn't go try to block that shot because he certainly would have got an and one. So he just stood up, made him shoot over top of it, and unfortunately he made a nice basket.
Anderson looking to Althoff. Spartans back in the zone, and Anderson connects and takes advantage of the zone. A lot of standing around, and you know in a zone, Bob, defensively, if they're standing around, there's going to be holes all over that zone. Anderson exploited it. Lynx up by 3, 21-18.
You know, he kind of made a fake pass, and the they moved out, vacated the spot.
And Doran connects. It's a 1-point ball game again. There's a timeout on the court. Lynx up 21-20 on SoDak16 day here in South Dakota for AA, as this is a Saturday matinee. We can call it a matinee, right, Bob? It's really, you're trying to punch your ticket into the state tournament. You can see on your screen right now, Lynx up 21-20. We'll go over our Lynx TV sponsors real quick while we have a timeout. Go ahead, Bob.
All right, we want to thank all of our All-American sponsors, Alliance Communications, Aspen Ridge, Coca-Cola Bottling and Chesterman Company, Midco Communications, Sanford Health, and Sioux Valley Energy. We certainly want to thank our MVP sponsors, First Dakota National Bank, Rogers Plumbing and Heating, Sanford Health in Brandon, and Sanford Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. And thank you to our champion sponsors, Alliance Communications, American Family Insurance, Josh Koob Agency, Brandon Ace Hardware, Brandon Lumber Company, Heartland Funeral Home, Horizon Pet Care, Quick Star, Sunshine Food Stores, and today's Family Dentistry.
Thank you, sponsors, for making that happen and making this game day happen on the SoDak16 Saturday afternoon. Lynx are up by 1. We're at about 3 minutes to go. First half, and that's Briggs Knutson, your point guard, number 2. He's going to go over to Carroll. Carroll's got 3 points in the ball game. Right now, lead all scorers in the ball game is going to be from the Spartans. That's Doran. Carroll wants to answer that 3 as Anderson's there for the rebound off the missed shot from Carroll. It's going to be a shooting foul, I believe, as Anderson's going to go to the free throw line.
Is it on number 11?
It's going to be on number 11.
That's going to be his third.
Janvrin picks up his 3rd foul for the Spartans, as Anderson does not connect on his first free throw. Into the ball game for the Lynx is going to be Wells in for Carroll. As now on the court, as you can see, Anderson's at the free throw line, number 32. Althoff at the top of your screen is going to be number 44, along with Zur on the bottom of your screen is number 10, Wells number 4, and Knutson number 2 on the court. Just under 3 minutes to go. We have a ball game, 2-point lead for your Lynx, 22-20. As court 10 is going to, that's going to be Janvrin. He's still in the ball game. And there is a foul on Althoff as Hamilton attempted a 3. And he's going to go to the line to attempt 3 free throws, as that's Althoff's first foul of the ball game.
Yeah, he just went up to try to block that shot, and not necessarily the best defensive choice there when you're that far away from the basket, but you know what? That's part of the game.
As that free throw's no good. That one is good.
So he's shooting 3 here. So 1 out of 2 thus far.
As he's going to take his time, that's Hamilton. He's now got 4 points in the ball game. He does not connect on his his 5th point of the ball game. Lynx up by 1, 22-21. Wells for 3. Good! Wells comes off the bench, connects. Lynx up their biggest lead of the ball game by 4. It's 25-21. Lynx crowd's coming alive, as the student section is also, as there is a weave offensively and man-to-man defense, and the defense's intensity is picking up from the Lynx. And you can see their hands are all over the passing lanes, as the Lynx defense, like we just talked about during the break between quarters, that defense is what's going to win these ball games. Offensively, you're not hitting on all cylinders, right, Bob?
That's right.
You got to play great defense, and that's what they're doing right now, and that's your Lynx. As number 3 is Hamilton, and they're going to play a weave again on offense. That's Davis. Now they're going to swing it to number 23. And it's going to be a legal pick.
You know, I would guess so. Maybe a moving screen or something. I didn't see. It was kind of just off of our purview right down below us here. But In either scenario, we got a 4-point lead, and we'll take it.
Under 2 minutes. We're at 1:40 to go first half. Links up by 4. Beautiful pass. Delaney, Altoff, good. Links up by 6.
You know, that it's the only person on the court that's going to get the pass that high, and he was able to go down, gather himself, and go back up for a nice, smooth two-pointer.
Delaney all over Hamilton. Now you're seeing Delaney on the court. There's a 3 ball by number 23 and number 24 for the Spartans connects. That's going to be Tucker Olson. And now it's a 4-point game, 27-23, 1 minute to go, first half.
Wow, this has been a fast first half of basketball. Not a lot of fouls called.
And there's going to be a foul, as it looks like number 1, Doran's going to pick up his second foul of the ball game. No, it's going to be his first of the ball game, as number 0, Cortan, is going to come into the ball game for Olson. Olson just connected on his first 2 points of the ball game for the Spartans. And Lynx inbound. Altoff from a beautiful pass from Delaney just a moment ago. Delaney, another beautiful pass to Zur, and Zur with the tip in. It's good. Zur now they're going to say Altoff tipped it in. He's got 4 points in the last 4 points of the last 2 possessions for the Lynx. Lynx up by 6, 29-23. Defense chants are all over the court. Anderson picks it up. Good! Anderson connects, 20 seconds to go. First half, Lynx up by 8, 31-23.
You just like the fact that as he went down, he didn't hurry himself, and he made sure he was under control to get a nice bucket there. That was clutch.
Hamilton. Oh, and it's going to be a carrying call on the Spartans. Lynx defense is really forcing a lot of turnovers, but rush shots too from the Spartans, as the Lynx are going to get one shot at this. Delaney pushes it. It's going to be a quick foul on Davis, as Miller does connect from the corner, but the foul is on the court prior to that. There's going to be 3 seconds on the game clock. Lynx up by 8, 31-23. Delaney inbounds, Altoff. Wanted Zur in the corner, and it's going to go out of bounds. Spartans are going to get their chance at the last shot of this first half. 1.2 seconds on the game clock. Full court pressure from the Lynx, and they back off. That shot is up. It looked almost good, and almost doesn't count, as the Lynx go into halftime on SoDak16 on this Saturday afternoon. Lynx up 31-23.
You know, the Spartans scored 16 points in the first quarter. They only scored 7 points. The defense clamped down pretty good in the second quarter and only scored 7 points. You got to like how the defense is playing, and they're starting to make some shots here for some folks that you don't necessarily see light up the scoreboard, but today's going to be one of those games where there's not going to be anybody that lights up the scoreboard. The winner's just got to find enough points to get the game won, I think.
100%. You know, and one thing we all talk about at the end of the day is we all focus. I mean, I don't care what sport you're talking about. You can be playing or watching a baseball game or playing a baseball game. Nobody really concerned about what a third baseman, if he picks, you know, a grounder and throws it to first and it's out, and really good defense. Okay, they look at the spectacular defense, right? Not the little parts of defense, and they're always focused on. I'm just saying, on baseball, you're always focused on the home run and the score, but it's really the defense that catapults everything for the offense and really wins ball games.
They do, because you know, if you make the routine plays, well, first of all, let's back up. If you make the highlight plays, you make ESPN. But if you only make one of those a game and you make a bunch of other bad defensive plays, your team loses. But if you do and make the plays that you're supposed to make on the defensive side, you're going to win a significantly higher percentage of games, regardless of what sport it is, than you do if your defense is just it's okay in an occasional highlight. So
I agree, and that's every sport, right? I don't care if you're talking about football, soccer. I don't care what you're talking about. Defense wins championships, and right now the Lynx defense, you talked about it, Bob, 7 points in the second quarter. Remember, the Lynx only give up 49 points. So if the Spartans were to double their score right now, which is 23 points, they'd be at 46. That's under the average for the Lynx. Lynx right now with 31 points. We saw the offense pick up a little bit, a couple shots. You know, it really mentally, when you see shots go through the hoop, I don't care if it was Miller's that bounced off the rim, then bounced off the top of the backboard and then went in. You still seen that go in, and that can be contagious for other players.
well, you know, you're talking about that play where it bounced off the top of the bangboard. There's only about a 2-inch, 3-inch wide backboard to bounce it on without hitting the pole. It's straight up and down. You hit the pole, it's out of bounds.
Yeah.
But that one managed to bounce just wide enough for the basket to get that. And again, those quirky plays, we'll take them because that may be the difference in this game. Who knows? But
that's what punches your ticket ultimately into the state tournament, and that's what's on the line today. I keep on almost saying this evening, right? Today, because we're usually calling ball games during the evening, but today, Bob talked about too that it was such a fast pace. What time is it? Like 3:30 some?
3:35.
Yeah,
so.
3:35 as Bob looks at his watch. He's one of the guys that wears a normal watch. It's not one of those ones that takes your heartbeat and all those things and your oxygen and stuff like that. That's normal, Bob.
It's got a dial on it, Ken. It's got the 1 through 12.
I don't know if a lot of people know that, but yeah, know what a dial is anymore on a watch, but that's what it is. And so that's a fast-paced game, right? And typically you see a little bit slower paced game and not as fast. But what I like about that is that the refs are not controlling the game. They still control the whole aspect of the game, but they're not micromanaging the game, right?
We're not talking about them.
Right. And so they're letting the players play. They're letting the coaches coach and the players play, right? Yeah. And that's what you need during tournament time.
You know, that's who should be deciding games, not the officials that have to make a call in the last couple of seconds of a game. That shouldn't decide it. They should let them play and make sure that nobody's going to get hurt, but let the players decide on that. But anyway, Ken, we were talking about the SoDak16 last night. You know, the Brandon Valley girls punched their ticket by beating Brookings 65-49, and they play their first-round match at the Sanford Pentagon this next Thursday. They play the late game at 7:45. So if you're out there and you're watching and you need to know when the girls play, that's when it is. The Sanford Pentagon in the suburb of Brandon in Sioux Falls. Yeah. At the Pentagon at 7:45 p.m.
I know a certain individual likes that saying. That's more than likely. I can guarantee he's watching the game right now. My father-in-law.
Would that be the mayor?
That. Yeah. Likes that saying. He's the one that kind of came up with it. So, and Bob too. Bob said it too. So I'll give credit to both of them. I've heard it from both of them. I never said it until I heard it from Bob and my father-in-law. So I'm just speaking into existence off of it. So
you're only giving him credit because he's your father-in-law. That's it.
No, honestly, I've heard it from both of you. So that's so at the Pentagon, right? The girls really have a chance. I watched the game. I was Kyle and Coach Foss called the game last night, and they did a fantastic job. Hats off to them too, and hats off to the girls team. But they have a really chance to win that tournament, right? The state tournament, along with the boys. I mean, you're sitting at a couple 3 seeds. That's a spectacular regular season for both teams.
You know, and I kind of like their draw. O'Gorman has been kind of heads and shoulders above most of the AA class this year, but the Lynx coming in as a 3 seed. The number 2 seed, I believe, is Mitchell, and I tell you what, they got to play a very tough, a team that's been playing really good down the stretch, and a Harrisburg team in the first round, and that is not an easy task either.
And what I like about it, right, there's no home court advantage. There's zero home. It's a court that you don't typically play on at the Pentagon, and or like you'll see in the boys state tournament when it's at the Denny Sanford Premier Center, is that that's a neutral court, right? And that's where there's no home. Both teams are gonna, all teams are gonna have probably a really good fan base coming and presenting themselves. But the thing is, everything's thrown into a hat then, right? And it's a new season. Just like today's a new season because you got to go 1-0 today, right?
That's absolutely right.
And so I just love tournament time. It's March, right? And sorry, folks, I'm not. Maybe I won't say this. I mean, it's 64 degrees outside right now, or 67, or whatever it is. You know, March time tournament time, we usually get a little bit of snow. And
see, Ken, it always snows and storms on state basketball tournament, and I think you just jinxed it.
Well, I did look at the forecast next week because I know there's a summit tournament coming too that I'll be present at for some of those games, and I think there's maybe a little snow in the forecast, but I think it jumps back up, right? It melts right away. We've seen that a lot, man. Bob, we've been really, really blessed with beautiful weather this winter.
I absolutely would say that is atypical for or anti-typical. You know, typically we've got snow on the ground early and it kind of stays here and it gets cold. But this year we had a kind of a snowstorm early, and we've had a lot of good, fairly warm spots along the way. There was a little bit of stretch where it got really, really cold, where the jet stream kind of dipped down to us. But other than that, we've been very lucky in the weather that we've had here in South Dakota.
Absolutely. So this ball game this afternoon, your Lynx are up 31-23 on SoDak16 on this Saturday afternoon. Lynx in command in the second quarter. They took the lead, and they have not given it back.
They were talking about the Pentagon earlier, and for anybody who has not had an opportunity to witness a game there, it's a very player-friendly gym. It holds about, I'm thinking, 3,500 people, so it's a perfect size, I think, for the girls' tournament. But even if you don't have a huge crowd, you can make a huge difference for your team because it does contain the noise onto the floor for your players. So if you got a chance and you have not been to a state tournament, this would be the good one to come out and see and get down to the Pentagon on their main heritage court to watch your team and support your team.
And unfortunately, Bob and I, or Kyle and Coach Foss can't call the games. They don't allow us to. Otherwise, we would be right there calling the games. But I plan on going to some of the games. I know Bob might. Let's see. I mean, he's from Sioux Falls. I think his children went to well, we won't even talk about it.
That's all right. They're always jealous about certain schools.
At least you have the right shirt on today, the Brandon Valley Lynx shirt.
You know, I got to wear the Brandon Valley Lynx shirt because I haven't been presented with a Lynx TV shirt to wear during the broadcast.
That's about 3 years ago, I think. Zer for three. No good. Anderson's there for the rebound. We start the second half. Altoff with the rebound. It's good. Lynx commanding the boards early in the third quarter. Lynx up by 10 with 7:35 to go, third quarter. On the court for the Lynx is going to be Zer, number 10, along with Delaney, number 5, Miller, number 20, and number 32 is Anderson, along with Altoff that just connected on his 6th point of the ball game, number 44. Davis from 3, doesn't connect. Delaney's there for the rebound. He fought for it, and he grabbed it. They're going to push it. Zer, layup. Good! As a beautiful pass from Delaney. Zer's going to go to the line to try to connect on a three-point play. Lynx up by 12. Janvrin's going to pick
foul.
up.
Hits his fourth.
His fourth. He's going to have to go to the bench. And number 24, Olson's going to come into the ball game for the Spartans. as Zur has 8 points in the ball game. He connects on his 9th point. Lynx up 13.
All of a sudden, I kind of got a feeling I know what Coach Nelson talked about at halftime is the aggressiveness, hitting the offensive boards, rebounding, all keys to winning a game here.
Great defense by Delaney. It looks like Miller may pick up his, no, it's going to be a foul on Delaney. He's going to pick up his second personal.
You know, you kind of like those aggressive, sometimes some fouls aren't bad, and it was kind of an aggressive foul trying to pick up a turnover here. So when you're up by 13.
As Cortens, he is guarded by Miller. Great defense from the Lynx already. 30-second timeout from the Spartans. And Bob, you want to go over our Lynx TV sponsors? Well, we have, I'm not rushing you, but we have 30 seconds, Bob.
All right, well, thanks for the All-American sponsors of Alliance Communications, Aspen Ridge, Coca-Cola Bottling and Chesterman Company, Midco Communications, Sanford Health, and Sioux Valley Energy. Thank you to our MVP sponsors, First Dakota National Bank, Rogers Plumbing and Heating, Sanford Health in Brandon, and Sanford Health in Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. And thank you to our champion sponsors, Alliance Communications, American Family Insurance, Josh Koob Agency, Brandon Ace Hardware, Brandon Lumber Company, Heartland Funeral Homes, Horizon Pet Care, Quick Star, Sunshine Foods, and Today's Family Dentistry.
Lynx TV sponsors, and they are really appreciated. Thank you all. As Davis is going to inbound, and they're going to reset the offense. That's the Spartans. Cortan swings it over to Olsen. Olsen in the ball game for Janvrin, as he's got 4 fouls. As the weave's happening on offense, and that's going to be Doran. Doran connects on his, I believe, 12th point of the ball game. He leads all scorers. It's now a 36-25 ball game. Zur looking into Althoff. Now they reset it with Anderson trying to play a high-low game. Delaney, they find it. It's good. Zur leads all scorers for the Lynx. He's now got 11.
What a great pass. Zur's just kind of running the baseline, cutting into the open spots. And, boy, he got that shot up quick because he didn't want it to get blocked.
As Olsen guarded by Althoff, they're going to reset the offense. Great defense, man-to-man defense from the Lynx. And that's number 3, Hamilton. Now Cortan dribbles at the left hand. That one's up over Althoff, and it's good. Now a 11-point game, 38-27. Lynx on top. 5:35 to go, third quarter. Delaney looking for a pick. No, he's going to go to Anderson. They want to go to Zur. No, they go to Miller. Miller is 0 for 4 from 3, but that teardrop floater from the baseline is good, and Miller connects for his 5th point of the ball game. It is now a 13-point ball game, 40-27. Lynx on top, 5:10 to go. That 3 is good by Doran. Doran connects on his, I believe, 14th point of the ball game. No, they say Hamilton. I thought it was Doran for 3, but they're going to say Hamilton for 3. He's got 7 points. It's now a 10-point ball game. Timeout by the Spartans.
Yeah, I'm not sure, honestly, the purpose for the timeout there. They had just come off a nice, good offensive set. Things seem to be settling down, so I'm not sure if he's trying to get the defensive end squared away here, because we've got a 10-point ball game with about a little over 5 minutes to go in the third period. So it'll be interesting to see what they change, if they're going to maybe start upping the pressure full court, something like that. But I don't think the Lynx are probably too disappointed with that, so they can kind of get their stuff kind of squared away. But I was going to talk about that basket down here by Miller when he took the drive. He just shot that with so much confidence that, he just up over the defense and, didn't even use the board. And
yeah.
It was a nice shot, though. He probably shot that 1,000 times.
And if you think about it, probably tape is showing, and the Spartans, that Miller wants to take a 3, right, most of the time. Well, that pump fake and that teardrop from the baseline worked. Beautiful shot from Miller. Wells into the ball game for the Lynx, along with Carroll, number 22, as they're going to swing it. Carroll for 3. Good. His second 3 of the ball game. He's got 6 points. Lynx up by 13 again.
You know, I just really like the fact that he was over there and he was in a triple threat position. He was ready to shoot that ball if it came over there.
As Olsen over to Doran. Now they're going to swing it to Cortan, man-to-man defense by the Lynx. Now Hamilton. Hamilton guarded by Delaney, beautiful defense, and it forced that errant throw as it's going to be a turnover on the Spartans. Lynx ball.
You know, they're going to give the turnover to the Spartans, but the person who created that turnover was Delaney, and his pressure driving him to the end line, and he had to get rid of it or he's going to step on the end line.
I agree 100%. Wells for three. No, he doesn't like it. Zur underneath, double teamed. He fights through the double team, splits it, and it's good. Zur leads all scores with 13.
You know, he could have got an and one on that one. He was knocked to the ground on that one.
Beautiful defense by Wells as he blocks that shot and then tips it off of number 0, Cortan. Lynx ball links up to their biggest lead of the ball game, 15 points, 45-30. As Delaney's going to push it, gets a pick from Zur. Now double teamed, finds Zur. Wells is open. No, they go to Carroll. Carroll just hit a 3 from the baseline. Carroll's got 6 points. Althoff with 4. They go over to Wells. Wells with the left hand. Now they go into Althoff. That one is good. A big height mismatch. They find Althoff for his 8th point of the ball game. Links up by 17, 47-30. And I believe that's going to be the 3rd timeout taken by the Spartans. It's going to be a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, all of a sudden, you know, you got a 17-point game here. You know, things were going along, and all of a sudden the Lynx defenses ratcheted up, and their offense is starting to ratchet up and put a little difference in the scoreboard.
Yeah, defense. I know we harp on it a lot over our telecast, Bob, but it shows, and the ball wasn't fine in the hoop, okay, in the first quarter, right? But defensively, in the second quarter, it started to create offense, right? Now the third quarter, you're seeing that bridge from the second quarter halftime to the third quarter. Now the ball's finding the hoop a lot.
All of a sudden, the confidence level in your shot is starting to get ratcheted up as we go, and it's really at a fever pitch right now.
As Doran connects off of a beautiful pass for the Spartans, he's got 14 points in the ball game. It's now 47-32, links up by 15. Now Wells going over to Delaney, got a 2-3 defense from the Spartans. Carroll, deep 3, no good. Dorn's there for the rebound. Now it's going to be Hamilton. Hamilton's got 7 points in the ball game. Try to get a screen, he doesn't like it. Cortan is going to try to push it back over to Hamilton. No, they go right back into Cortan. It's going to be blocked by Zur as he comes from the baseline and off the double team and blocks it out of bounds. 3:01 to go, third quarter. Links up by 15, 47-32.
You know, we've done a few games this year, Ken, and I think the person that is getting a lot of very valuable minutes tonight is Rylan Carroll. That doesn't necessarily is not necessarily one of the first people off the bench, but he's playing really well. He's playing solid defense. He's scoring some points for you. Getting those bench contributions are very important to the Lynx success.
And he can shoot the 3. As we've seen so far, he is 2 for 3 from threes with 6 points in this one. He's a senior also. Althoff, double team, splits that double team. It's good. Althoff goes into double figures. He's got 10 in the ball game now. Links up by 17, 49-32.
Yeah, his height and his power on the baseline is really a big difference maker tonight.
As Briggs Knutsen's going to come to the bottom of your screen on the bench, and Layton to check in. Delaney with beautiful strip, and it is good. Delaney, oh, they could have called a charge. They do not. It's going to be a blocking foul on Zur, but beautiful defense, and we've seen it all game from Delaney, and he connects on that fast break and connects and puts the Lynx lead up to 19, their biggest lead on this SoDak16 on a Saturday afternoon as the Lynx stay in the man-to-man defense. No, they may be in a zone as they're going to be backing off a little bit, and they are in a zone. No, they're going to stay man-to-man. A little confusing as you could see a little bit of chase. Delaney with his second steal in consecutive series. Puts up the left hand. He's going to be fouled by number 11. That's going to be Janvrin, and he's going to foul out of the ball game. He's got 5 fouls.
And he is a starter for them.
As number 23.
The coach took a chance, and it didn't pay off here. 23
for the Spartans. That's going to be Favruska. He comes into the ball game. Delaney's going to go to the free throw line, and that first one's no good. Lynx trying to go to a 20-point lead here with Delaney at the free throw line. He gets another chance. That one's up, and that one is good. He's 1 for 2 from the free throw line. As now Miller comes in the ball game for him. Delaney's got 6 points as he goes to the bench. Also Altoff with 10 points goes to the bench for the Lynx. Into the ball game is going to be number 32 Anderson with Briggs Knutson number 2. Miller is number 20, number 10 Zur, and 22 is going to be Carroll. Looked like a travel. They're not going to call it. Hamilton for 3, no good. And it's going to be just off Miller for the Lynx. It's going to stay right there on the right hand of your screen for the Spartans.
Yeah, they're still continue to play really good defense, and Spartans just don't have an answer. Right at this point in time, anyway.
3 ball is good by number 23, Vavruska.
I gotta quit saying that because every time I say that, they get a basket.
Carroll, Anderson, Miller swinging it all the way across court. They swing it back. Knutson open for 3. He doesn't like it. That one is no good by Knutson, and Spartans there for the rebound. Hamilton drives with the left hand. That one's up and no good, as I believe there's going to be a holding foul.
Zur, I think.
On Zur. That's going to be his 3rd foul of the ball game. That's going to get Delaney back off the bench, and he's going to come in for Zur. As Zur goes to the bench as the leading scorer for the Lynx with 13. Delaney on that one, and he tips it back in. Beautiful play by Delaney. Knutson goes up, and no good, but he's going to be fouled. He's going to go to the free throw line.
Fouls on Doran.
As Doran now picks up his first foul. He leads all scorers with 14. As Wells going to inbound for the Lynx. Goes to Miller at the corner. Carroll. They're going to swing it all the way around. No, they're going to go into Anderson. It's going to be a pushing foul by number 3, Hamilton. As the cheering is going to be, I don't know where the cheering's going, but it's coming from the student section. Gets real loud in here. Davis with the interception, we'll call it, by the Spartans. 52-35, Lynx up. Just under 45 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. Delaney's going to pick up a foul there as he picks up his 3rd foul of the ball game. Knutson's going to get off the bench, and he's going to come in for Delaney now. On the court is going to be Carroll, number 22. 2 is going to be Knutson, along with number 4, Wells. 20 is going to be Miller, and 32 is going to be Anderson. 35 seconds to go. Lynx up by 17. They keep that lead as Carroll's there for the rebound. Shot clock is off. We're at 25 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter as Knutson comes in your screen across the timeline. 18 seconds. Lynx up 52-35. They want points to end this 3rd quarter, and we're at 10 seconds. Wells dribbles his left hand, finds Miller from the corner, doesn't rush it. Miller has to take that three. It's no good. Anderson's there for the rebound. He doesn't get it. Hamilton does. And that one is no good. And that's going to do it for the third quarter as your Lynx are up by 17 in a commanding third quarter. It was, Bob, 52-35.
You know, we talk about in many of our other broadcasts, I always mention that the first 4 minutes of the third quarter coming out of halftime is really big. Well, guess what? That's when the Lynx made their move to get out to that larger lead, and now the defense is just kind of holding it on and see if we can get enough points to finish this out.
Yeah, as the Lynx really in command of the second quarter, they took that lead. They went up by 7 points, right, going into halftime. 6 points. And now the third quarter, they gained that lead by 11 up to 17, and they're in command completely of this ball game.
You know, they obviously talk about what do we need to change and the adjustments, and good coaches will make those adjustments. That's why that first 4 minutes out of the halftime is so important. And clearly on the offensive end, they made some excellent adjustments. We made some key baskets to get out to this lead. Now we just need to not go into prevent defense, because that's what they do in the NFL, and all it does is prevent you from winning. We just need to go into regular defense, continue the offense, continue to try to get our points, and not just try to run the clock to get the game over with.
And Bob, I know you're a Yotes fan, but I have to say this. So the Jackrabbits going into the Summit tournament, they both won today, the girls and boys, right? Guess what they're going to be going into the Summit tournament? The number one
participants.
Seeds, the number one.
Just like everybody. Everybody's a participant.
Welcome to tournament time, Jackrabbits. You have gained the number one seeds, and congratulations to you. As Delaney, offense over to Miller. That three's no good. Anderson with the rebound. That one is good. Anderson connects, links up by 19. Anderson goes into double figures. He's got 11 now for the Lynx in double figures. Him and Althoff both with 11 and 10 respectively, along with Zur, the leading scorer for the Lynx. He's got 13. Anderson connects. He matches Zur. He's got 13 now.
What a good pass, and he was able to catch it at full speed and put it up for the nice bucket.
As Delaney pushes it over to Miller. Anderson wants another one. He connects. That is 3 possessions to open the fourth quarter for Anderson, and it's 6 points. Lynx up 58-35.
Yeah, they're playing at a pretty high level right now, and if you notice, they wanted the game to go faster, and that's what they're doing.
Delaney, steal. Miller, good. It's now 60-35. Timeout, Spartans.
And that's their last timeout, I believe. It's going to be their last time out of the game here.
Yeah, and it really, it's connecting on all cylinders right now. Let's think about it, Bob. Defensively, it's playing the passing lanes defensively, and it's, boy, are the Lynx hustling, and that's what it's going to take as they're getting closer and closer to punching their ticket in the 2024 state tournament in AA, as they are walking into the SoDak16 right now, the 3rd seed taking on the 14th seed today, the Spartans from Spearfish. Bobby, you have some score updates?
Yeah, up in over in Washington, Sioux Falls, Washington beat Pierre. They're a number 4 seed coming in, 52-47. Over at Harrisburg, they put a beating on Sturgis Brown by a score of 79-41. And then over in Jefferson, they got upset alert here. They've got Rapid City Stevens is up on Sioux Falls Jefferson 50-46 with 3 minutes to go in the half.
Wow.
In the game.
It's tournament time. It's anybody's ball game. Everything resets, and you're seeing that over in Sioux Falls Jefferson right now. As coming out of the timeout, the Spartans. As Hamilton, great defense though, but Doran is there for the follow-up. Doran, as he connects on his 16th point of the ball game. It's now 60-37. Carroll into the ball game for the Lynx. Swings it over to Delaney. finds Altoff at the free throw line. That one is good. That will break every zone when you have that type of ball movement, and it was money. 62-37, Lynx up. As there's a three ball by number 23. He connects on his second three of the ball game. That is Vavruska. As great defense there by Hamilton. Cortan. As it's going to be out of bounds as an errant pass to Hamilton. Into the ball game for the Lynx, and seeing his first action of this ball game is going to be number 14. That's going to be Irie. He comes into the ball game with Wells, so Irie number 14, Wells number 4, along with Miller number 20. 10 is Zur, and number 22 is Carroll. We have a smaller lineup for the Lynx, as the Spartans are going to stay in that zone, that 2-3 zone that we've seen a bunch of this afternoon. Zur doesn't like it. Shot clock at 15. Irie for 3. It doesn't find the bottom of the net. Rebound by Doran. He pushes it over to Hamilton. 4:45 to go in this one. Lynx up by 28, 62-40.
So Coach Nelson is going to be watching this particular group on the court, even though there's some of the bench players, to see how they're playing the defense, because if they want to get in at crunch time, they're going to have to play defense now when the game is out of hand, just like it is if it's a one-point game.
I said 28. They're up 22. I can't do my math, Bob. Does that surprise you?
You are a Jacks fan.
Does that surprise you?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Out of bounds on the Lynx. Spartans ball. Vavruska to inbound, number 23 for the Spartans. He's got 2 threes in the ball game. He just hit his second one. As Hamilton guarded by Zur. That one up and no good. And it's going to be off of number 4 for the Spartans. That's going to be Gibbs, his first action of the ball game. It's going to be Lynx ball, 4:13 to go. Lynx up by 22, 62-40. Miller, Carroll. Carroll's got a couple threes in the ball game. They're going to swing it over to Miller. He's got 5 points. Wells, kind of playing a really, really good ball movement by the Lynx offense. They find Irie. Irie trying to look for his first points of the ball game. He grabs that rebound. No, I believe it's going to be off Gibbs, though.
Yep, it's going to stay right here.
As Irie was there. 62-40. Thank you, Kyle, for putting up the scoreboard, as unfortunately we didn't have the scroller on the bottom to show you the score, the time, the shot clock. Shot clock's at 30, 3:40 to go in this ball game. Lynx up 62-40, in command in the last 2 quarters, in the second and third quarter, and so far in this fourth quarter. Wells, they find Irie in the corner. Now they're going to go up to Wells, resetting the offense, 10 seconds on the shot clock. You can hear from the student section, they're counting down, 5 seconds, and Wells buries the 3. Lynx up by 25, 65-40.
You know, they showed some good patience there. Still, we're not just running to kill clock, but they got a wide open look for a 3 there, and Wells knocked it down.
3 minutes to go in this Saturday matinee, as tournament time is happening right here in Brandon, South Dakota, and the number 3 seed, your Lynx, are in command by 25. Hamilton, 8 seconds to go on the shot clock. Great defense by the Lynx. That one's up, no good. Miller's there for the rebound. He's going to push it up to Carroll. They find Wells. He just hit a 3. They're going to take their time on offense, and Coach Nelson's got to love it, as it's Miller. Now Wells looks underneath, and now they go to Carroll. That zone defense is happening for the Spartans. 2 minutes to go almost in this one, as Zur from the free throw line. Great defense by Hamilton. He's got the steal. He's going to be fouled by number 14, Irie, and the reach-in foul. That's going to be his first. Now into the ball game for the Lynx is going to be number 3, Mock Man, and number 12, that's going to be Nolan Pudwell. So on the court for the Lynx is going to be 12 Pudwell, 14 Irie, 22 Carroll, 2 Knutson, and number 3 is going to be Mann. That 3 is good by number 3, Hamilton. He goes into double figures. He's got 10 now. Lynx up by 22. As a couple players are going to, actually one player is going to come to the bench. That's going to be number 24. Or excuse me, is it 24? 34 for the Lynx.
Mason Ennis.
Mason Ennis is coming to the scorer's table, as you can see on the bottom of your screen, bottom right. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Carroll for 3. It's good from deep. He hits his third 3 of the ball game. He's got 9 points. Lynx up by 25, 68-43. 1:10 to go in this one.
You know, that was a good offensive set. Got to the last second, used the most amount of clock, and got a good look for a 3. A rainbow 3.
That 3 is good by Hamilton. It is a substitution. Carroll goes to the bench. He played a really pivotal part of the game, as he was the first person off the bench. He's got 3 threes in this one. He's got 9 points. Hats off to that senior. As Irie and Ennis into the ball game, number 34. 40 seconds to go in this one. Quick timeout, as we're going to see the first action, and the crowd's coming alive. The leading scorer from last year is going to be, it was Lucas Morgan, number 24, and he is coming off the bench, and the student section's on their feet, along with everybody in the stands, as Morgan inbounds it. And he's all smiles. You can see him on the bottom of the court here. He's going to go up, and he's going to dunk it.
I think they all understand that this was mainly ceremonial, and they let him go because they wanted to have him score this year.
Yeah, and hats off to the Spartans, too. They let him do it, too, so that's pretty cool. As Morgan averaged about 19 points per ball game last year. And
this is his first action.
Yeah. And the time clock is at 0. And the Lynx punch their ticket this evening. They win in the SoDak16 Saturday matinee. They punched their ticket to the state tournament with a win over the Spearfish Spartans, 70-48. I know that I think they take the ladders out now, and they're able to cut down the nets, and that's what they're going to do here. What do you think, Bob?
I think that's probably more reasonable and customary that they do that, and it's a good recognition for the players on the varsity team to be a part of that, and so we'd like to see that. I'm glad we did have a few Spearfish folks that traveled all the way across the state for this game, and we're certainly glad to have them here, but we also hope that we got some Spearfish people watching the broadcast out there that we could bring to them. But just a couple of score notes before we check off here. Sioux Falls, Washington beat Riggs 52-47. Harrisburg beat Sturgis Brown 79-41. You know our final. Brandon over Spearfish 70-48. Over in the Sioux Falls Jefferson Gym with under a minute to go. Rapid City Stevens is up on Jefferson 53-52 with under a minute to go.
And we're going to stay live on that one, Bob. We're going to give you an update until that's over. We're going to actually stay live, and we'll give you an update.
And then over at the Sioux Falls Roosevelt Gym, Roosevelt's up on Aberdeen Central 50-35. Other games tonight to determine state participants. Mitchell takes on Yankton at the Corn Palace. Watertown takes on Sioux Falls Lincoln in Watertown, and Huron takes on O'Gorman up in Huron to determine our other finalists, participants for the state tournament. And they're just going now where they're recognizing all of the players for winning the SoDak16, and will be going on to the state tournament here coming up. And they're just kind of reading all of those with they get medals, I believe, and they also got a team plaque. So all the crowd is clapping and showing their appreciation.
And I want to say one thing before you give an update on that Rapid City Stevens and Sioux Falls Jefferson game. Hats off to the Spartan Spearfish, or excuse me, the Spearfish Spartans. They're seniors on a really good career, all of you seniors, and hats off to you. And I know that's a tough thing when you lose that one and it's all over for you in your basketball career, or maybe you may be playing at the next level in college, but your high school career is over. You can see the Lynx team, full team, out at the middle of the court taking a picture here as the coaches are coming over. They're being waved over as you see the plaque there. The Lynx today punching their ticket to the state tournament in AA in the state of South Dakota with a commanding win, 70-48 over the Spearfish Spartans. They will be cutting down the net here, as you can see the ladder on the bottom left of your screen if you're still tuning in. We're still live because we're going to bring it to you live. The score here, if Bob can get an update, I see on his phone it's still 54-52. There must be a long timeout.
There's probably some fouling going on and that kind of stuff.
We're going to try to give you a play-by-play of it. I don't think we can, but we can try.
Well, let's take a look here.
Student section, some of the student section coming out to congratulate the Lynx boys team. And seating-wise, we really don't know what that is right now. You can go to the South Dakota, what is it, the SDHAA?
Yep, SDHAA website. You can probably, for this, you can probably call the Denny box office for ticket availability for there. For the girls' game, you have to call the Pentagon box office for their tickets, or the South Dakota High School Athletic Association to potentially get a ticket there. Or typically on the participating high schools, usually the next day or so after the games, which this case probably be Monday, I would guess, is that they usually have a ticket allotment for fans and parents and so forth to get those tickets. But we're still kind of holding on here for a final, and it's still showing the link is still showing 54-52 Rapid City Stevens over Jefferson, which would be an upset as far as the ranking teams go, because the game is held at Jefferson. So it's kind of nice that you got the opportunity for these players that get a chance to cut down the net, kind of like they do when they go to the NCAA tournament. You win your conference championship, you get a chance to go. So we're going to kind of watch that a little bit, and we're still trying to get you an updated score here. Well, with the score is now tied within the last minute between the two, so I'm guessing they're probably shot some free throws there to tie up this tie up the game here.
54-54.
They started overtime.
Well, we're not going to be able to bring you live overtime ball for that game, but we tried. We actually tried to give you a final. And thank you for staying tuned in to us as your Lynx girls last night punching their ticket into the state tournament last evening. The Lynx on a Saturday afternoon punched their ticket into the state tournament, and seedings will go as you can, the Bob already talked about it, where you can go to find the seedings, but it's now state tournament time. Both teams punching their ticket into the state tournament. Congratulations to both teams, as very deserving, both 3 seeds, and they were looking forward to, and we all are looking forward to, a great state tournament run as that new season's about to begin, Bob.
It absolutely is. It's been a great year, Ken. We've had some good basketball to call some games, and we've seen two teams that kind of started off a little slower at the start of the year. Both of them, I believe, might have been 1-3 to start the year, and it really came on and are really playing their best kind of basketball right now. It's going to be fun to see what the results are this next week at the South Dakota High School boys and girls state basketball tournament. There's certainly going to be a lot of people in town over the next week or so when you bring in all those teams. So if you're out there, be safe, but get out and get your tickets, support your teams.
Well, a lot of basketball happening in the state of South Dakota, especially in Sioux Falls, as the summer tournament's coming in, college basketball. As one of those teams, or two of those teams from the girls and boys, trying to punch their ticket into the NCAA tournament, the March Madness. But we have March Madness happening in South Dakota and high school, as your girls Lynx last night punching their ticket into tournament time in March Madness, and the boys punching their ticket into the state tournament on this afternoon matinee. Lynx over the Spartans today, 70-48. Well, Bob, that's going to do it for our season for Lynx TV in basketball. We will more than likely be live with you next year, as our football is just, I know we say it's just around the corner, but it really is. It really goes that fast. Summers fly by. So it's been a pleasure. Bob, thank you for all you do on the color and everything you do, presenting all this info that I have in front of me so I can do the play-by-play. Really, Bob does a wonderful job of doing that. So thank you, Bob.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been a good time, a good experience.
Yeah, and so, well, that will do it on this Saturday afternoon on Lynx TV. We were proud to bring it to you on this SoDak16. Lynx punch their ticket to the state tournament. For Bob Arnold, I'm Ken McEwen. Have a great weekend.
Good afternoon, everyone.